Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's map 2 here, the final quarterfinals. We already have 3 semi-finalists. We need to find one more, and it's either going to be North or Immortals. And right now, North certainly making a convincing case that they deserve the spot.
Yes, sir, they are. And they just destroyed Immortals on Immortals map pick. And now we're going to have Mirage coming in, which is North's map. North's map pick.
Yes.
Getting late. Yeah, I almost messed that up. Definitely didn't. So yeah, this is going to be insane. And if we see any kind of a defense like we did on Inferno from North, like that was impenetrable, it seemed like.
Yeah, sort of an unlikely combo, right? MSL and Config. But
2 very different styles, isn't it?
It really is, but it worked out so well. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously, we mentioned a couple times, obviously well-drilled, well-practiced, well-theorized between the 2 of them, and it almost seemed like it was MSL giving ground and playing to Config style a little bit more, and then Config giving some ground and letting MSL just kind of call the decisions of when to make the aggression, when to make the peek, when to throw the flashbangs and everything like that. It was great.
And after the knife, we're going to get into the game any second now. I mean, Mirage, you're right, picked by North, so we'll see how it's going to work out for them. They seem like a team that's very much on fire. I feel like Immortals is one of those teams that they're not going to be sleeping for that long. Like I think they're going to be even more incentivized now to make crazy plays and sort of, you know, have big rounds.
They started to pick it up there towards the end of Inferno, didn't they? They rattled off a couple that just gave you enough confidence to say at least they've got something going for them right at the end. I don't think that'll be enough, and obviously that doesn't work if you get out to a slow start again. I don't think that's going to be enough. This North team, they looked better than I expected them to, if I'm quite frank. And you always have to contend with the idea that, you know, there's going to be a force buy on the Immortal side of things that is going to be very questionable.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to, although when it works, when they make that work, it's obviously very frustrating for the enemy team. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The knife is already out of the way. North are going to be starting on the T side, Immortals on the CT side as we head into the second map here. Last quarterfinals between Immortals and North to see what's going to come up here. What do you think? Are you gonna bet Immortals for a true victory here? Did they swing you enough in that first map?
Oh, you mean North? Yeah, they did actually. That was impressive play. I'm probably going to regret doing this, but I will switch my prediction with the information from the first map. Not that you can actually do it, but it looked great. And look at the aggression already. I mean, this is at least nice to see. Getting into the second map, wanting to get your players engaged, calling an aggressive tactic. Not only Henny peeking at upper B, but KNG and Lucas pushing a ramp. There's a crossfire in mid. That gets broken up by Cajun. Can he get the second kill? Because Bolts has to reload. There's a chance that he gets it.
He had to get that. He was very low on health himself, and now they're going to swap it out and run into the B-bomb side. And Immortals have got to feel very outplayed. The last 2 players on the A-bomb side just hoping that they run on and, you know, don't check all the corners. And Cajun, just what the hell is he doing? A triple kill for him. Pretty much clearing out that whole round. KNG is so far away that I'd say save the armor and the kit here.
Or go be a hero. We'll see what he's got. There's plenty to find, and I don't know if he clears this all the way. He does, but Valdi wins the fight. I think Immortals is going to have to be confused. Why is there 2 players coming up connector towards the A bomb site when the main hit is coming over at the B bomb site? And then the players who had pushed down A ramp are coming back thinking it's still going to be A probably, and just getting wiped off. And that push actually served to kind of make this pistol round more difficult for them because they were so much farther away from being able to rotate into position.
And it's absolutely confusing. And the fact that Cajun got that second kill, I think that just broke everything apart. Like, as soon as he does that, very hard to get back in shape. Now, second round here, we've got what looks like a default kind of A execute. And Lucas, maybe with a good deagle shot, we could be seeing an interesting round. Instead of falling back from the smoke, he's going to challenge it. There's the first strike. He gets a second too, trying to get the kill on Config. And somehow he's still alive. Not doing a bad job at all, Lucas, and actually doing damage and staying alive. But the rest of his team can't follow it up. And Steel and Bolts are the last ones left.
Nice execute from North, and they're going to get an easy win off of it. Oh, there was a good amount of battling. It's a team ace. All 5 players of North get a kill. And just because there was this discussion earlier on between, well, I mean, not discussion, but I know Henry said during one of their casts that he doesn't like the idea of that execute on the A bomb site. No, Chad said he did. I think right there, it was cool how they did it because they send config very aggressively. They have the smokes up. They're not getting too close to the smokes, which is the real danger when those smokes hide the pistol's progression to get closer up to you. And I just liked how they sent the SMG into the bomb site. The AK stayed far back. They were there to cover, to help pick if anyone's going to be running in. And that was nicely done.
North do not look like a team that's lost any focus from map number 1 to map number 2. It's a bit scary for Immortals. This round, though, they don't have to feel too bad about it. It's just UMPs and no armor, so you kind of expect to get rocked on a round like this, and if you even get 2 kills, then that's cause for celebration, I would say.
It's a shame Henny doesn't have a better gun, because I think Valdi's going to get caught off guard by this. Turning the corner, yeah, he does, just a little bit, but the weapon is too ineffective, and MSL's already in CT spawn. He can cut off. This is going to be some bonus money if he plays it correctly.
Up on the corner.
I think they spotted him.
Oh, did they really? It seems like it. Doesn't really help again. The pistols just don't do that much. USP's great in pistol rounds, and not so great in the rest.
Yeah, pretty much useless for every other scenario, aren't they? Well, MSL's going to be happy with that, and there's actually, as I say that, 2 headshots from the USPs. No real danger of losing the round, though. And Immortals are going to be forced away. Does KNG want to keep this UMP? Because you can utilize that weapon. That would help them get some utility moving forward, but he's getting a couple more kills. Now he's got to fight his way out.
This is definitely very good for KNG, making himself an extra $900. It's a bit of a shame that he can't hold on to it. That will still help out. We know that Immortals like going for that double EWP setup, so is KNG going to get the other one? Henny's already got his.
I think he does. Why not? You just got battered on map 1. Just go for it. Go to the bread and butter right in the 4th round.
You dare? There it is. They're not even going to hesitate. I like seeing that. 3-0 for North, but now Immortals left. They're going to have the rifles. See what they can do with them.
Again, all 5, well, maybe not again, but North, all 5 players towards this A bomb site. Mid-control be damned. They just want the execute. There's going to be 3 players here. KNG with the op at ticket booth, Henny with the op at window, and here come the smokes. How effective are they going to be? Lucas up close is the one who's providing support for KNG, trying to keep them far away from him as possible.
Oh, that's not a good smoke, and what a shot from Config, though. KNG can still see over it. Are they going to realize, North? That's the problem. KNG still goes down to Cajun B. Did he shoot him through the box or just right on top? That's impressive. He was down on the floor. He wasn't up in apartments, so 5 versus 3, and Immortals just probably going to have to concede this round.
Yeah, they absolutely do. If I had to imagine a guess, it would be KNG jumping up on that box to try and get 1 pick and then falling down, and Cajun just ready for it. He was sitting far back at the top of that ramp, just specifically watching for that kind of a play. Beautiful stuff. And MSL hunting the weapons, and no reason not to. Any of these guns taken away from Immortals is so valuable, and unfortunately, Steel's already got the angle. Great call from Immortals that quickly to save the weapons.
There's a bit of a discussion that can be had about that smoke that goes towards CT spawn, because if you throw it close to the ticket booth, then you block that angle that KNG had. You can do that, no problem. But that will there it is. That'll very often leave a gap on the other side that people can look under if they crouch, sort of walk back on the ramp and look under it. And if you throw too far to the other side, then you get that situation where, you know, they can shoot anyone coming out of the apartment. So I think the key is whichever one you throw, your teammates have to know which one it is, right?
Yes.
So they have to know if it's left or right. Otherwise, they're going to be confused and get picked off.
If I had to give my personal opinion, I'd say I'd rather the one that they use and just have the opper or somebody just watch for that jump up, because you're still exposing yourself. You're still in a very dangerous position to jump up on that box as in a CT opper.
And we're actually going to see the other version now from CT spawn. There's going to be a gap, I think, to the left-hand side. Oh, he sees the gun barrel. And they're just going to give up on that. They realize they're not welcome.
Not messing with it, but there's MSL opening up onto Lucas. They're already attacking this A bomb site. Henny's able to grab one because the smokes aren't down just yet. There's not enough, and that's their undoing.
Oh, Henny, that's the 3rd kill for him in the round. And Steel is going to take down Config. So 4-1. Again, Immortals early with the reply here. North aren't being allowed to just run away with everything, but I feel like this is where we need to see a really strong streak coming out of Immortals. One where they just get, you know, 4 fire rounds in a row here.
They do. They need a very good defensive half, and you could see that's what happens if you don't put a smoke up in front of Henny. A very good round. 3 kills, and on top of that, the leg shot. Phenomenal damage, phenomenal impact, and I think North just got lured into that hit a little bit early based off the opening pick from MSL. More aggression from Henny. He's trying to dictate this game. He's behind his own smoke, misses that shot. Now, how do you get away? There's 2 players here, so Lucas can help out. KNG gets a kill in connector. That's a big start.
Oh, I wish they would have gone for the boost down there. Instead, they go and fight Config, and he knocks both of them out of the round. Henny and Lucas no more. And 2 versus 4. This is about as bad as it could possibly get for Immortals. If they lose this round, still gonna go for a bit of a peek, and now they know there could only be 1 person on A. They should take this chance to fight it. Still goes down. Nice shot from Valde. And Bolts has to... I don't know. What does he have to do, Moses?
You have to try and save. I guess maybe you jump down mid, try and get the AWP, but there's no real good answer, is there? I don't even think he'd be able to survive that one, knowing Valde's coming from underpass. Nightmare scenario for the Immortals. They win one and lose one immediately after. That is exactly what they didn't want, and this is just great for Config. Lucas and Henny, that whole time, that aggression just didn't work out. It wasn't well coordinated because Lucas was already in underpass, and Henny drops that smoke, and it kind of locks both of them in that area. It just becomes a death trap. I think we're starting to see the unraveling of Immortals.
It's very curious. Just they look like a different team from the one that they were yesterday. It's hard to say exactly what the reason is. This can happen, and we've seen it before. But now is one of those times when you're on the big stage that you don't want to have an off day or have the team not quite be 100%. KNG goes down. He was close enough. Oh, Lucas coming back big. Bolts is still hiding in the corner. He's got the deagle. There's enough confusion here that North might not check it. You see Cajun a bit oblivious at the moment, and he's going to go down. And next in line, Valde for a 1 versus 2, and almost got shot down then. Steel walking onto the bomb side and catching Valde. This perfect timing and a big win for Immortals.
That's great, exactly. In the confusion, Bolt's even got a kill, so you think maybe they know where he is, but so much craziness going on during the execute. So many nades going off. Guns being fired that Bolts gets kind of lost in all of it, but great shots by Lucas. He certainly gets the double kill that turns the tides. 5 on 2. Or 5v2. 5 facing 2.
Yeah. I'll take it to any or all of them. I'm down. Bolts with a bit of a wild spray as the flashes get exchanged. He comes out heavily on top. MSL is no more, and Cajun looked like he unscoped just at the wrong time, and now Immortals making a sensible decision, trying to fall back from the middle instead of fighting it, although I say that Henny's actually swapped positions with Config, and that's a free kill.
Immortals having a little bit more success now in the start of these rounds. North all spread across the map. It's Config who's looking to make a play, so is AZ, but Lucas picks him off. He's having a pretty good start to this map, playing this A bomb site defense. So Config's got advanced position up at the top of connector, so he can at least try and cut some things off. 1 kill might help open things up, but this is going to be tough.
I feel like AZ should have been waiting for Config there to make the opening instead of just pushing out of the apartments himself.
Or use one of those flashbangs that he's got in his arsenal.
Those work as well. They're not giving any opening to Cajun here. This is the best possible move, I think, for Immortals. Doing a great job. Sensible Counter-Strike is what we like to see. And at 35 seconds, not going to be easy for North to change the outcome of this round. Although that Molotov bolt's almost standing too long, and it forces him back. Cajun getting a kill and jumping down almost to his death. 23 seconds, and Cajun just going to man-fight them in the connector, and Steel comes out on top. And I don't think Config can do anything any longer. He's got 14 seconds, and if he walks to pick up the bomb, he's going to be in a 3-way crossfire, and that won't work out well. Cajun, oh sorry, KNG, the good pick off there. I'm also losing my mind, Moses.
We've seen that coming for a while, but yes, it is quite late in the evening. Yeah, that is just a little bit curious. Obviously, in a Cajun's opening, his crosshair, I think it's a little bit crazy that Lucas just goes for that peek after Cajun gets that kill with the op from balcony. That surprised him. You could see he's jumping down, not expecting that whatsoever, because it is just a little bit of insanity of just wide peeking an opera right into the open. That would be usually exactly what the opera wants. So caught off by an unusual play, but KNG's not caught off by MSL's unusual play through the smoke. Yeah, and they had Valde jump peeking top mid to try and keep him occupied. And I think he realized in time, so that's not bad at all. KNG not getting caught off guard, neither is Henny. All right, now they're getting into it. Now they're building some things up. They've won 4 of the last 5 rounds. It's quite good for Immortals, and 3 in a row on top of that. So they've built up some money. We know they need that because of the AWPs. North is on their last buy if they can't get a plant. The losing bonus is building, but I think they'd have to do either a half buy or just a full save in the next round if they can't win this one. Still, 5 rounds already is not a bad place to be at if you're North. No cause for panic, even if your T side is bogged down at the moment.
No, I definitely would say that they still have a very good shot at making this a great first half. The only concern is if Immortals are really going to start to wake up all the way. KNG certainly making the case, shooting Cajun in the leg. Steal as well with a headshot on Valder. MSL, he gets 1 in return, but I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough this time. KNG's ready for it. He's reading the game very well at the moment. MSL not committing to the push out of balcony yet. There's the push with the smoke, and he looks away just at the wrong time. Important kill for AZ. MSL taking down bolts. And that should be a bomb plant here for the Danish side. Lucas and Henny, they need to make this work. Sneaking in from behind this Henny, and that's a free kill. MSL reloading. And now it's on AZ, and he needs to get into a position here. He's just in the middle of nowhere. He almost drops Lucas. Henny's on the other side, and AZ playing this one incredibly well. Lucas is still gonna get the headshot in the end. Seems like AZ maybe didn't have to take that fight.
No, he was feeling so good after that headshot in the halls, wasn't he? But the bomb's planted for him. You know you've already done damage. Follow back to Catwalk. Just hide. You don't need to peek that angle. Use the bomb as a teammate, and he fails to do that. Regardless, though, I mean, Immortals makes big mistakes as well throughout this round to even allow this to get that close into a one-on-one. Henny has got to be the one who's frustrated because he's flanking that whole time, and all his teammates have to do at that point is freeze. Is just all you have to do is not die.
Yeah.
Let Henny come in with the flank. Then all of a sudden you have a second angle that North has to worry about in the post plant, and then you all become more effective in your jobs, and it's much easier, and you don't lose that many guns.
It's getting interesting now. Scoreline is tied at 5-5, and Immortals have finally shown up in this quarterfinals, and leg shot on top of the Molotov config goes down, but AZ is there with a good return. MSL with a long-range spray, and he's going to get immediately returned upon. Lucas following Valder as he's falling down mid-air. Now he has to go and fight, and a great headshot taking down Cajun. What a round from Immortals. Signs of life, Moses.
Yeah, KNG might getting the flashy kills, but Lucas is getting the dirty ones in this A bomb site. It's KNG at 11-9, Lucas at 7-7. Not the craziest scoreline, but he's been integral to holding this A bomb site. This is a sick peek right here onto Cajun. Just no chance for him, really. Right off the ladder as well, getting a quick boost.
And standing in that corner in the shadow is a terrible idea because that box in front of you is paper thin.
Yes.
Glocks shoot through it and still do about 12, 13 damage, so you really don't want to stand there. An AK or anything else will chew you up really quickly.
Here's that half bite. And he's not blind. They run just a bit before the flashbang goes out. He's going to want to throw the nade, but he's slowed down by the Molotov. And all of North is slowed down by the Molotov. AZ's got to make a play. He's coming in. He sees Steel. That could be an opening. He can use this smoke a little bit more, and he's got to evacuate the bomb site. He has to give it up because he didn't have any teammates here. This could be a plant.
Smoke still covering. Valder will go down, but what a big win here. Bolts is going to drop as well. Don't see Cajun actually winning the 1 versus 3, but the amount of damage being dished out and the bomb plant absolutely annoying to Immortals. Putting a bit of a dent in there. Otherwise, great streak that they've got going on here, winning about 6 rounds in a row now. This is all very good news, especially if you're an Immortals fan.
Yes, it is. They're coming back into this.
It's gonna be rough having to keep up all the way from Brazil with the broadcasting hours here in Europe. So if you've been keeping up with the tournament all day and you're still watching, then shout out to you. I'm sure it's you're thinking hopefully it's gonna be worth it, right? You want to see Moles do well here.
They're actually loving it. I think that they're only what, like 5-6 hours behind, maybe.
Yeah, now it's okay, but
yeah, now it's
you've been watching from the start of the day.
Yeah, you're having an exhausting day, aren't you? Oh, that's beautiful from Henny. He even gets the damage onto MSL right behind Config, brings him down to 14. Great presence in mid, and that slows down this hit. It looks like they wanted that to be a B split, but it's not going to work out. And Immortals are happy to see mid control with that much damage, and even Bolt's going to add into one as that smoke fades. He sees MSL hopping up.
That's the kind of start you want every round. 3-5 now. What can North do from this position? They're spread out all across the map. They have a couple of flashbangs here to set up some sort of entry. This isn't easy.
What you've seen, though, out of Immortals in some of these rounds has been they are making mistakes on an individual level. So if you can get just one kill, perhaps that can nudge Immortals into a waterfall and just really snowball this round away from them. Valdi challenging Bolts, and Bolts is trying to hide. It's going to force Valdi into the open. That's nice, though. No mistakes this round from Immortals. Beautifully done. Lucas is there for the teamwork, and now they just don't need to peek Cajun. They know he's got an AWP. They know he has the angle, and Lucas is wisely just hiding in an area he can't see. KNG's going to have to fight that duel. It is won by AZ, but what more can he do? No need to challenge there by Bolts.
And AZ, it's just a question of finding a couple of more frags if he can. Picking up the AK-47 instead. Still a 1 versus 3. They have to remember he has to put the bomb down. Still fighting him. Oh my god! AZ coming up with a quad kill. Can he make that jump? He will. Dodge Henny for the moment, and 7 seconds left. And he's putting down the bomb. Ladies and gentlemen, AZ with a quad kill. And he's looking the right way. Henny coming in, and they should be cancelling this out with a pistol. Still trying to get it.
Oh, he's got it!
You've got to be kidding! AZ with the ace clutch, shutting down Immortals. What did we just see?
That makes no sense. He's been dead to rights a couple of times in that. First, the jump over the AWP, fighting his way up the ramp. This is why you say don't peek. It sounds so silly because there's such an advantage in the Immortal side of thing, but you're giving him too much. That makes this kill was just easy because he'd been weakened earlier, and then obviously that needs to be a frag for Henny. He's going to be beating himself up after that. AZ's got to be living a high life right now.
You are not going to get many of those in your career.
No.
There's one less of those in AZ's lifetime. That's unbelievable.
That was a 1v4 or maybe a 1v5 by half a second perhaps when his teammate falls. I mean, who cares? We'll just call it a 1v5. Give the man some credit. Beautiful by AZ.
Oh man, I mean, Immortals are still in this. They've got the economy, but that's such a slap in the face, and you know internally in the team, it's hard not to tilt a bit over that. It's hard to justify losing that round. Immortals see if they can bring it back. Well, that's a great start. Lucas taking down 2, and there's the third. Dropping Cajun as the last man, and AC this time there's not going to be any shenanigans.
Certainly not, Anders. Yes, it's hard to tilt losing a 5v1, but that's a good way to make sure it doesn't go too far in the other direction. A clean sweep, an easy round. Great double up on the A ramp, just very quick kills, 3 of them in total between Lucas and Kanji. They've done a great job, those two, even that 4th there at the end.
Yeah, I feel like Lucas is
just been solid.
Yeah, he's keeping his mind in this game. He's not too affected by the pressure, it seems. They are top fragging at 12 and 13. Great timing with the smoke and the Molotov there. KNG's loving that.
2 AKs and some pistols. No utility. North has got to make their move. They're already in the bomb site. How does this happen? I think KNG, I don't know what Lucas was doing. We were just saying his head was in the game, but I think he lost track of everything because KNG seemed to just go down without a fight. Very awkward positioning at the moment. North have everything they could want.
I just think they weren't expecting the Danish team to just run onto the side like that. They've been conditioned to think of, smokes and flashbangs, and suddenly they're there. So definitely a bit odd. 3-on-3 for the retake here at the 15th round. Immortals, they're fighting to stay in the tournament. They need to win this map, so this is going to be big for them. MSL gets an important kill. Bolts with 1 in the return. He's going to be going down. Diffuse already happening in front. 1 more second, and Steel is not going to get it. Valda will take him down. So close, and not close enough for an 8-7 finish. Slightly favoring Immortals here.
They've got to be gutted. Obviously, the 1 versus 5 is going to be preying on their minds. Also, that last round just seemed to be easy. It even caught me unaware that North already had that bomb site. So Immortals, they have a good half, obviously much better than Inferno was, but they still drop a couple at the end. So 7 rounds for North on the T side, and they're going to switch over to the defense. They're going to be happy with that. They're going to be extremely happy with that. And Immortals, 1 last chance, or else they're out of the event. And so are all the Brazilians.
Yes, you're right. I still can't really come to terms with that. I feel like SK should be here, but then again, I feel like Astralis should be here, Moses. The simulation is not treating me well lately.
Well, we heard it glitching out earlier.
We did. It's been a strange event.
Yeah.
But I mean, actually, I think the other way to look at it is just that it sort of speaks to how much the average level of Counter-Strike has risen now.
The depth is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the level that Gambit came in here with, I don't think anyone can reasonably say that they expected Gambit to be this good as we saw them this evening.
No, absolutely not. That's so impressive. I can't wait to see them in the semi-finals. Definitely can't wait to see Fitch play again. That was a bit of a story on its own. We'll see here, second half coming in. North, now on the CT side. Already got the first map here, but Immortals are looking much more awake now. So a couple of mistakes, costing a couple of important rounds, but in spite of that, they've definitely been more fired up. And Lucas is doing his best impression of sort of pretending to be a whole team here. It's just one man, but he wants to keep everybody on this side, because over at this side, the Glock train is going to be stopping at the B-bomb side. Valde missing a couple of shots and falling back. The pressure is on. Config gets one headshot. Another third. Oh my god! Config shutting down Immortals. There is nothing you can do against that, is there?
Get banged out. That's so impressive from Config. And beautiful by Valde as well. A bait and switch. They weren't expecting Config to be there at all because they had seen Valde on the porch.
Oh no, we could get the ace headshot. He get all the headshots here. And MSL!
No.
We're gonna remember that, MSL. We're gonna remember.
I feel like you don't want to mess with Config in that at all, in that sense. This is so disgusting. The control after 3 kills, even the 4th. There he is.
That was from the pregame, but yes. Well, I mean,
speechless, aren't we? It's insane to watch. That's why he's so endearing to so many fans. That's why, I mean, we also like to see. He's one of the guys who gets into the banter, who gets into the little bit of the smack talk. He can obviously back it up as well.
Well, yeah, he's got some ammunition now, hasn't he?
Yes.
He's feeling ready again. Starting to run low, maybe. 8-8 is the scoreline. Immortals with a buy in this round, not really uncommon at all. It'd be nice if they could land some of those Deagle headshots, and even one of the teams that still tend to pick up the Tech 9, it seems. And they're spread out all over the map right now. It seems like they're just looking for a bunch of individual fights, more or less.
They really, I mean, they're looking for aggression, right? They want to be gifted a kill before they decide where to go, and at the moment, North isn't giving it to them. Bomb is left very far back as well, so if they have success, they still have to go get it. This aggression up a ramp, but Lucas is going to fall back. He has damaged up MSL. He wins that initial battle. Config's got to be so careful. He was almost in the crosshairs of KNG, an easy target. A little bit more damage onto AZ, and this is where it does get confusing for North, because you have no idea where the actual hit's going to come from. Good find from Config. Now into the B bomb site is Steel, but he's not finding anything.
Might have been Config saving his teammate then. He was all the way over by a catwalk, so that's kind of an important pick off.
Steel goes through the B bomb site, calls it clear, and now Henny's going to be running the whole way. Now Steel will get a kill here, obviously. But Config is going to know everything. He hears this running, and this is going to be an easy kill. Henny won't be expecting it whatsoever.
Oh man, that's annoying, isn't it? You're absolutely right. Steel coming in, will pick up one. Still got a couple of seconds here. He's just going to have the bomb plant in the last possible second, it seems. So, best you could hope for, I think.
Yes, 2 kills is nice as well. That plant is going to be big. Obviously, would have liked more, but they didn't get some of those fights they were looking for in mid. North is going to take the lead once again, 9-8.
That's not at all a bad round out of Immortals here. Couldn't really have gone much better. Going to be buying a couple of pistols in this round, but nothing too exciting outside of that.
No, and Henny's got 3,500, so he'll obviously have the AWP, so we'll get that right away into those gun rounds. We've seen a couple times that it's taken some time for Immortals to get those ops out onto the field. Won't be one of these. Bolts with the Deagle, Steel with the CZ. Lucas has a Deagle as well. They haven't... Oh my god. I was about to say they haven't had a whole lot of success with him, and Bolts just lands one square between Cajun's eyes. That's a dirty shot.
We've been seeing a lot of those in this matchup, I feel like. Just the amount of raw aim talent on both these teams is kind of ridiculous, isn't it? 18th round, and again, bomb really far back. Immortals hoping for, again, someone to be aggressive, someone to make a mistake. Valde trying to be as safe as he can be.
I like that switch, or not the switch. I like Valde playing B for this North team. There was always some debates because when they were trying to make it work with Magisk, still they were rotating some players in and out of that position. MSL, Magisk himself at times, a bunch of different things. But Valde just seems like such a stable player that's always going to get you at least 2 kills. And so, out of a B player on Mirage, like for those heavy B hits and executes, that's exactly what you want. Is just a consistent 2 kills.
Config. It's going to be an easy enough pickup on Lucas. Unfortunate timing there. What?
Oh,
what? And he still not getting the kill. That looked like almost a bit of comedy there towards the jungle. Just putting on a show for us, maybe?
Right. They've got a whole thing planned.
Like a routine?
Yeah.
Okay, well, apart from that round, which was pretty uneventful, all things considering, it's now time for Immortals to shine. We have the AWP picked up on Henny. We've got a lot of grenades and AKs here. They're not that far behind. It's perfectly within the realm of reason they can win this map.
Important round, though, right here. Set the tone. Cajun looking for a crack. They've already crossed over. He's got to be careful. He misses the shot, and he gets punished for it. Great from KNG. Config is going to go pick up the AWP, and we saw his opping earlier on Inferno. He quickly switched off to the AK-47, but see if he can fare better with it in this round. He's got to try and bring his team back from a man down.
A very defensive setup for North, which is good in terms of not getting picked off, but they have no idea what's happening in the center of the map right now. Just look at the minimap. It's Immortals controlling everything. And
the tough part is, unlike Gambit, they're not playing retake on the A bomb, so they have 2 players inside of the A site, which means they have a flank completely exposed. Here's a boost up on Catwalk to try and alleviate some of the pressure, and it starts with a kill.
It's a big return on investment, but they lose Valde, who was on the other part of that boost. Bolt taking down AC. Should be a free kill for MSL, but now he's got everybody to take down. Config showing up just in time. And now it's a 2-on-2. Config missing one of the shots here. MSL coming in to take on over. Great communication between these two again. And now Henny. He has not got the time to shuffle around too much longer. North need to remember that he has to put the bomb down eventually. And Henny sneaking up with the AWP. Molotov going to force him in. He sees the gun barrel. He knows where Config is. But MSL is there.
I love that jump over the gap by MSL. That's some Rambo level plays. MSL seems the most engaged, the most proactive, and the most aggressive I've seen him in some time on an individual level. He seems very switched in with this lineup, feeling very comfortable. That's great for the in-game leader. I mean, there is that meme of the increased sensitivity for that event where he would just went absolutely bonkers.
Listen, we called it the MSL era.
Yes, it lasted a week.
It's more than most people get, Moses.
It is more than most people get.
Bolts, he wanted to do it again.
He did, didn't he?
He heard you. You were impressed. Like, all right.
Cajun heard me as well, and he just picked up the op.
If Mr. Moses is going to be into it, then go for it. 11-8. Valde with the spray down through the smoke. Can't see a single thing. KNG comes running. Oh, sorry. KNG comes running in. And he's going to go down to Config with a nice triple spray. Didn't have much in this round.
Config's having one of those games that makes you just feel like he feels so comfortable ever since that pistol. Like when you have a big pistol round, like the rest of that half, you're just a god. It's not like they're having a lot of trouble killing Config. He's been great, obviously, in this. Both him and Valde turning to take care of the B bomb site attack. Almost susceptible to that play from KNG. Now we're in it, though. Double op setup on the T side. We've seen this before. If there's any team that's going to make it work, it is Immortals. We've seen them do it in the past, but Henny's taking some damage, taking some fire. And there's Valde as well. He spams Lucas.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Makes his escape all the way down through underpass. You'd wish that KNG would have been here to be able to return that. Does he see it? Not quite. Could have maybe gone for the fight, but he doesn't realize it, and the smoke fails the window. That's going to be a bit frustrating. Again, Immortals 5 versus 3. Not an easy one to fight your way out of.
No, it's really not. And look at the utility. They only have one smoke. That's on steel, so that's got to be used perfectly. A couple or 3 flashbangs, 2 Molotovs. But there's just so many positions. And North is even playing... I mean, this is pretty aggressive, all things considered, for a 5-on-3. It's just a tough position to spot out. You don't immediately think to check it. Yeah, indeed, Bolts hasn't even looked there, and they're lucky to get away with their lives. Config's going to fall back. Valdi's here. He's picked off. KNG knows there's one more, knows it's Config.
Impressed by that. KNG, you can easily shoot right through the wall down there with the AWP, so got to be a bit careful here. 35 seconds though, and Immortals are still stuck in the middle. And to get out through the connector, they have to challenge Cajun B. Let's see what he can do on the other side. He misses the first chance, and now they're gonna go, and they have to commit to it. He's low on health, the boost is in again. This time, Config, it works. MSL with the kill, and KNG double kill on him, but he just does not have the time here. They don't actually have to fight him, they can just wait and then kill him after the time has run out. If they wanted to. 8 seconds and he goes down. Config looking for the kill and getting it up to 22 now. And North 3 rounds away from making the semifinals.
Yeah, Config wants that semifinals, and you can see that's where Immortals was really hurting, is that lack of utility. So they only had that one smoke and they didn't use it on Catwalk. So again, I mean, Valdi and Config, I mean, just a little bit of annoyance, just boosting up once again, even when it's already been spotted, even when it's already been forced back, they just return to it, get one more kill, and that helps alleviate the pressure on Cajun and MSL. This is very good communication, very good coordination from North. In the thick of action, when the original plan has all gone to hell, they're still able to be effective.
They look so much in control right now. I'm very impressed. They're going to be playing, if they make this work, don't want to take it for granted, but if they do, they're going to be playing Gambit, right?
Yes.
So that could be a very explosive matchup. And obviously the other one, Nip and G2 on the other side of the bracket.
That's just a classic, isn't it?
Yes,
it
is.
The French versus the Swedes. Cores of both lineups having been one of the most classic matchups we've had in CSGO history.
Yeah, Shocks versus Forest and Get Right. I look forward to that when it happens. Right now, it is only a 5-round gap, so all they need to do, Immortals, here is break the North economy, put together some rounds, make sure they can't buy all these rifles, and then they could be right back in the mix.
It sounds so easy, but look at the tools they can bring to do it. 3 flashbangs and 1 smoke. They don't have much. And this is almost, it's such a tough call to make, but when you don't have this utility, you can't even have a full execute on this A bomb site. This is where you'd wish maybe someone else would have picked up a Galil just for the utility, or maybe a pistol. AZ could help them out if he just walks into Bolt's crosshairs. Oh no.
It's a perfect flashbang, isn't it? It's the kind of setup you love to see. No aim skills required at all, but KNG, that's a good kill. Cajun with the return though. It's a bit of a shame that he can't just stick around and draw away the attention for the B-bomb side, because now they're gonna know Valda turning around, but he gets overrun, he's not quick enough. Lucas will take him down. 3-on-3 here, and the bomb should be planted. It's 30 seconds. Config, though, very aggressive, charging all the way forward to the corner. Seems like his teammates have called for just a bit of a slowdown so they can be part of the action, too. And with the bomb down, Immortals must win this round. They can't let this one go. Lucas at a big off angle. It's going to be hard for them to check if they jump out the window. But Config hitting a headshot on 1. The second as well. Goes for the retake. And it's going to work out for North. 14 rounds here. How do you deal with Config just being this good at the game?
You can't. I mean, this is just one of those games where he's just going off and there's really not a whole lot. He's hitting everything. He's got the right read, uses the Molotov. He notices his teammate's Molotov doesn't burn out Steel, who he thought was at Vans, so he throws it right at the back of that pillar. Forces him into the open. Easy kill in that sense. And just so aware, pre-firing, shoulder peeking, finding Henny, and then it's just a 3-on-1 in that situation. Lucas, you mentioned he had that really awkward off angle, that really effective off angle, but never had a chance to bring it to bear because his teammates had fallen.
Well, that's a shot on Henny. I was going to say that looked very awkward for Config jumping into underpass, and eventually he's going to get taken out by KNG, but still, that opening kill on Cajun, surviving on 1 health, definitely a bit scary there. They still have a pretty big mid presence here for North. Looks like they sort of want to keep a bit of control on that part of the map. KNG's actually been boosted in, and he must have heard that run away from Cajun. This is a strong position, and just this strong Gonna be taking down AC, leaving MSL alone on the bomb site. Grenade gonna land on him, do a bit of damage. Again, he's got no cover in here, and Steel will take him down.
The bomb's dropped all the way in mid. Back of mid, so still there's time. There's a chance here for North to get back into this. I mean, it's so awkward because they don't know it, so Valdi's not thinking anyone's going to be in mid. There's no reason to because they have the entire A bomb site. Was it Immortals that got punished by that earlier?
They lost a terrible 2v5.
It was 2v5, yes, by the same exact thing. And it was on this map as well.
It was on this map as well.
God bless it all.
Bringing up all the bad memories, aren't we, Moses?
Why not?
This time it's going to be different, though. No, don't have to worry about that right now. Will be a 9th round here, as already Cajun is just trying to save that AWP. But I think we've had some interesting rounds here that have been sort of good at just illustrating some basic points. That one flashbang where AC got the kill in the previous round on ramp was great.
Yes, that was sick.
This is one of those rounds where you see the positional play from KNG getting into window and how much it matters. Like, it cracks open that bomb site. There's nothing they can do as soon as he gets that first kill.
Yes, and I think part of that is because Cajun got so beat up, there was some confusion on how the rotation was going to work away from mid, away from that window, and there was a gap at when they had information, and obviously that gap is when KNG is able to sneak his way in. That was really, really effective from him.
So 9 to 14. They take away 4 rifles from North, who have a decent economy going, so they can buy an extra round anyway, but it's not so good that they can just sort of shrug and say, it's fine, you know, we've got buys for 3 or 4 rounds here. They've got to be a bit careful, North, that they sort of close out the game. Focus on that part, because the one thing you don't want to do right now if you're on the Danish side is eco in the middle of all of this.
No, you don't. As soon as their economy's broken, it feels like it's a close game. Instead of being a comeback, it's already just close. But that goes equally as well to the Immortal side. I mean, buying up into this, they have 3 players who have pretty strong money, but they're going to have 2 players who are very light. Bolt is at 200 after the purchase, KNG at 0. So, I mean, if North is able to respond on this one, that next round when they're at 15 is going to be a pretty light buy for the Brazilians.
This second half has started out pretty gruelingly for Immortals, with North winning 7 rounds in a row.
This North defense on both maps has been phenomenal. And it's been, I mean, you think about who was it that had the incredible defense of that banana on Inferno? It was Config, and who's been playing a great Mirage so far? It's Config. He's just had an impressive series.
Certainly looking like the MVP at this point in time for North, at least. This is a huge uphill struggle right now for Immortals. There are so many teams now that definitely have a hard time playing CT side. All of the maps seem to sort of switch towards the T side more or less, so it's kind of refreshing to see North be this good at it. Maybe someone could spend the time studying them and learning a bit about what it is that actually works.
Yeah, why not? I think you see, I mean, it's probably been the most active defense I think we've seen with at least planned activity, you know? It's not just, you know, some kind of crazy push, but you can tell that the 2 players that are working together at bomb sites are very much knowing exactly how they want to play these rounds. This is scary for Immortals. If they don't throw the right flashbang, Cajun is going to be able to pick one off and fall all the way back. His teammate on Catwalk is Config with a Molotov, so further delays as well for the Brazilians if this doesn't go perfect.
Well, peeking with a grenade in hand, Steel goes down, and leg shot, but a headshot from Lucas, taking down Config. That's a big kill. I think that might even be worth it. Cajun, he gets one more, but KNG there to run him down. AC running into the bomb site, and he's only going to get the one. Henny surviving on 11 health. 2-on-2, but they lose bolts, and I think that just might have been it. Henny here, he's trapped on the bomb site, and they are coming for him. Oh, what? Valda with a team kill, and Henny with a headshot!
Oh no, that is gutting for North. Valdi, I guess, I think he's just trying to pre-fire in case of a peek, and MSL just takes an awkward pathing. But that's disaster at this junction in the game. As we said, that's dangerous. Yeah, he's just pre-firing, waiting for the peak.
Now, if this is the round that breaks the game for them and we go to a map 3, this is where North can lose a lot of their composure.
Yes, it really, I mean, we saw it out of Na'Vi earlier, right? A team that's also known for getting a little bit stressed in some of these matches. Important to note as well, you asked how you could handle config, and I said you really can't. Well, Lucas jumping out of the window just takes him out with a quick headshot. So there's one way to do it. Just kill him before he can shoot a bullet.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I like that. Why weren't they doing that all along, Moses?
If they can just do that for the next 5-6 rounds, that'll be great.
They can certainly do it in this round, it seems. No armor and the pistols all around on the north side here, so you have to assume that Immortals are going to be just fine with picking up a couple of easy kills. Finally, maybe even getting a bit of room to breathe.
Yes, for the first time in a long time.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Still a long way to go, though. But, I mean, at least you look at this. I mean, they're being much more cautious, much more thorough than we've perhaps seen them in some of these takes. Making sure everything's Molotov. And Cajun, that's upsetting. Not able to finish up that kill with the Deagle. I think we're going to be back on the weapons this next coming round. Yes, we should be. Cajun can have the AWP. He's got 7K. Everyone else can have M4s. They might be a little bit light on utility on a couple players, but this is definitely doable.
11-14. This game is getting uncomfortably close right now if you're North. You sort of know that you just have to finish it off. You closed it out. You probably have some sort of plan in mind, but it's getting a little bit too close for comfort. Now the fight is on in the middle. AC with a great transfer and Config to follow it up. Molotov there to put pressure on top mid. Henny winning the fight in spite of that. There was a bit of backup in the window, but Cajun had to fall back, so now it's a 3-on-3 leg shot in the follow-up from KNG. Combat AWPing and bolts to spray down Valde. MSL takes a long time, and he's going to end up going down to bolts. 12-14. That's one of the few buy rounds that North have left, and they can't make it work.
The Danes are cracking, Anders. You can see it. They're taking a little bit longer. These kills aren't coming as crisp. MSL, that should have been a much faster kill onto KNG and a transfer up to Palace where the player was also low. That could have been a very nice 1v1 situation to be in, but maybe some stress coming out at the end. And also, I mean, just Immortals, a lot of attention on mid, and obviously the presence of North in mid prompts KNG to make his play up A ramp. He knows if there's 2 players spotted in mid, someone at A has got to be missing. And that's the right call to make.
Leaves North back on pistols and no armor. Had a chance to fight in the middle. There was a failed smoke in the beginning, but they did not really feel like it. We have used to say, still do sometimes, that Danish Counter-Strike is one hell of a drug. It seems to be wearing off for North right now. They're coming back down to earth again, and right now they're not having a good time at all. Valde charging against Henny. It's got to be annoying, but ultimately won't really change the outcome of the round.
No, it won't. And the next one's going to be big, obviously. I mean, every round, I guess, here on out is going to be a massive one. But certainly, that's the round that Immortals can tie things up at 14. It's going to be a buy out of North. And they've kind of struggled. I liked the idea. It's unfortunate it didn't work because I really liked the idea. You could see North starting to slip. And much like we've seen out of where we saw out of Astralis at the E-League majors, and when they've gotten tough times, it's like, you know, be the aggressor. Take decision-making out. All you need to do, the only decision you need to make when you're the aggressor is just, you know, hit the shot, essentially. You don't need to really think too much about what you're doing because you know you're just trying to find a kill at this location on the map. So being aggressive in middle, they got a couple of some pretty decent trades. It was just they got outplayed at the A bomb site, which is tough, but the idea is there.
Great job from Bolts that round, hunting down the AK. I mean, these tiny, it doesn't seem like much, but towards the end of a game like this, giving an AK for free to North, definitely no reason to do that. Now we've got the double AWP setup in effect for the Danish side, and the scoreline is 14-13. This has got incredibly close all of a sudden. Immortals just a couple of rounds away. The Danes out of money, but that's a good flick, and Cajun makes it back around the ticket booth. And there's the spray from MSL, but Lucas wins the fight. And now AC. Does he stay and fight, or are they going to wait for backup to come in here? The bomb is sort of trapped at Tetris right now in this 4-on-4.
They need to wait. Cajun, he would love one more pick. There it is. There's the opportunity. Henny out in the open. The op as well from Config is on catwalk, looking deep into the A bomb site. Can't see anything yet. Cajun moving up, and he's been spotted, but still a 4-on-3. Damage being done to Lucas as well. This is perfect for North. They're in a great situation.
There's no more grenades left on Immortals' side either. This is going to be very hard to hold for them. That smoke blocking off at least one player. And now the retake is on for the North team. circling around the bomb side. Lucas, he knows it. He has to stay a bit proactive and keep them back and make sure they waste as much time as possible. There's the kill from Steel. That's the first step in the right direction. A headshot as well, leaving bolts. He's behind the smoke and he's gonna get dropped. Config, not even giving him a chance. Cajun with the triple, Config with the double in 15 rounds. Match and map point here for North.
How did Cajun, excuse me, survive that round? He got tagged up by just random bullets here and there and somehow makes it worth. Brilliant switch into the double op setup for North. They get all 5 kills with the AWPs. That is a lovely decision that they make there, understanding what they needed. And it's all Cajun who really takes the teeth out of this hit.
How do you deal with that?
Well, AZ's down to 30. I think Henny tagged him with an op up a ramp right through a wall, perhaps. Either way, that's uncomfortable for AZ.
Real talk for a minute though, Moses. If they lose this round, we're probably going to go to overtime.
There's that. There's coming back down to earth.
Shout out to Chad. I just want this to happen. Come on, Immortals. 15-13. We're in the 29th round. I think it's safe and it's fair to say they definitely have had a big off day today. But
yes,
the longer this game goes on, the more they seem to wake up.
Yeah, certainly they've found their way back into it. I mean, we talked about it. We saw it a little on Inferno. They got into it, but it's just too late. You can't be doing this multiple maps. This is so much pressure you're putting on yourself to make something work. Great mid control for Immortals, and even better, it's efficient. They don't have to use a whole lot to get it.
AC wishes he could watch over. Cajun with the first big kill. That's very important. AC standing in the middle there, trying to avoid the bullets that come through. He's gonna get dropped MSL there by Henny. Steel with the kill on AC. Now it's 3 versus 4. Cajun gonna get shot down. A great time boost in there. KNG goes down next. As long as Config is alive, there's still a chance, but the bomb will be going down, and both the North players are miles away. This could very well happen. Valde and Config, are they just gonna hold on to it to try and avoid the overtime?
They really have to. It's not worth the risk. Yes, maybe there's a chance, a very small chance you actually win that and get the defuse and win this round. But it's just not worth the risk, because if you don't, then your team just has nothing in the next one. So giving themselves a fighting chance in the very last round of regulation, see what they can do there. I'll tell you, I think MSL is going to be beating himself up as this round comes to a conclusion. Did not need to push a ramp there with the player advantage. That's one of those decisions it's so hard to stop yourself from making in the heat of the moment, but you know you made the mistake as soon as you die. That just caused the A defense to crumble. So 15-14 Immortals. It's looked so shaky at times, but it seems they finally, I mean, they've gotten here. They can force overtime. And this is what you were talking about. This is going to be such a sketchy buy.
A good timeout called here for North. You can understand why, obviously. I mean,
bit of a stressful situation, I think.
Do we want to take a walk down memory lane to that fun round where they have the team kill and lose the round to Henny? Because that round right now is looking pretty grim.
That's a tough stroll through a dark forest to take Anders.
Well.
And I mean, especially considering who got the kill. And we've been praising him for good reason, but Valde, he is inexperienced. He's the most inexperienced player on this roster in terms of this level of competition. Yes. So, I mean, that's a tough player to have to deal with, or that's a tough situation to have to deal with something like that as you watch the score just slip away from you guys.
They've been putting in the work. Config doesn't worry about the fact that it's the 30th round. Still going to make that crazy Kenny-esque jump out the window up until the railing. It all comes down to this. Immortals, if they lose this round, they are out of the tournament, and North are going to be in the semifinals. And if not, then we're going to be seeing overtime, which would be very exciting. And both these teams, so much fun to watch. Config is in middle with no backup at all.
With no smoke. What is this guy doing? These are the biggest balls I've seen in a long time to be doing that on round 30.
Yeah, I mean, there is just no denying it. It's getting late. Maybe he's lost his mind.
Well, we were all getting there, so that would make sense. Regardless, he doesn't get punished. I mean, you could just see equally, for a team as aggressive and fast-paced as Immortals, they equally do not want to do anything that could cause the end of this comeback. This should be getting Molotov. There's 5 Molotovs on the side of Immortals. If they lose a player to this without Molotoving this position, it'd be insanity. And they are going to do it. How long does he stick around for the shot? And that Molotov missed.
It did. They're going to put in one more, and eventually he's forced back. Ooh, good work. There's a bit of a spot under there, but they're going to be wrapping around to the B-bomb side. Only 2 players holding here, and they have to hold strong. Getting caught out, rotating. That's not good. There's a bit of a surprise. Cajun on top of the box boosted. Valder gets 1 kill, and Steel almost goes down, but not quite. He stays alive, and Bolts is there to help him out. 4 versus 3 now. North trying to prevent the overtime. They don't want to go through this again. MSL down to Henny. Immortals, 2 more kills, and they will have forced the overtime. AC gonna pick up 1 with the UMP, and now it's a 2-on-3. The bomb ticking in front of them. AC running all over the place. Steel gets a kill. And Config, he's done so much, but this 1v2 is almost impossible, and it's gonna happen. Overtime, ladies and gentlemen.
There is a universe where that works, but all props to Immortals to make this comeback happen. It didn't look likely. They struggled a lot in that offensive half. The defense from North was looking great, but eventually just so much different stress is applied to that. The TK, that's a lost round. You could see the man there responsible for that. Some poor decision-making, and eventually they crumble. I mean, I've talked about it many times. This style from Immortals that they like to play, and once they're one of the best teams that I've ever seen in CSGO at breaking up at other teams' momentum. They're just relentless with it. 15-15.
How did we end up here, Moses? What has happened? It was...
I mean, imagine, look at the heroics as well. If you look at it from the other angle, it took an AZ 1 versus 5 for North to get to overtime.
Yeah, that was a good round.
That was a cool round, wasn't it? A Config 4 kill with 1 clip on the pistol.
We've had a lot of spice in this one game, haven't we? It's been a good variety, it's true. Some mistakes on both sides, I seem to remember. All in all, it's definitely been entertaining.
Good lord. Why is he doing this?
It's just... There's no good answer, is there, Moses? You're the one who's meant to be answering these questions for us.
Oh, it's so scary. He's going for more. I think he's just like had enough. He's like, all right, if you guys can't do it, I'll do everything, boys. Pushing up mid. This is such an awkward angle. I wonder if they checked this. This is by the way, the very same setup they had in the previous round of overtime. You could see just the stack at mid from the 2 players, making sure there's no aggression. Here's Config. He's got a big job to do, and they do check it. He falls. AZ's not able to support. They do the damage, and Cajun misses a shot. That's uncharacteristic towards the end of this game. But they've applied enough pressure. I think they've stopped that B split. And Bolts, he might be making his move out. Palace here. Valdi with the damage onto Steel. This is so dicey, and finally Bolts goes down, and there it is. The round is broken open in the favor of North.
It's not the flashiest kills coming out of AC in this round, but they're very important. Just not very much exposure, taking no damage at all.
Every kill at this point in the game is important. Who cares if it's flashy now? It's all just get the job done. Lucas is going to try and sneak up connector. Henny with the AWP, not quick enough. Good kill from AZ. That one was pretty sexy. And MSL, is he going to go for a peek? Careful with that. He does dink down Lucas down to 5 HP. This should be impossible. Actually, there's no time left in the round. So it is going to end.
I was about to say, MSL, don't go for that fight.
I mean, yes. But it is 16K overtime. For those viewers who might not have tuned in to some of the other overtimes we've had, it is 16K MR3 frequently. At majors, at some other events, you'll see $10,000 start money with MR3. So losing a weapon to a crazy peak at the end of a round isn't really the worst thing that can happen.
No, it's not. I was more worried about the potential bomb. AZ this time the one losing his mind and pushing top mid, but the flashbang is just so good. And Cajun spots the feet, almost takes down KNG. It could have been a nice grenade follow-up, would have maybe been in order, but still, they're going to take it. And unlike the rest of these players, Cajun is actually trying to play sane Counter-Strike, and he just falls back instead of challenging.
Yeah, which is cool. Also, I mean, it's nice. You don't get the kill, but yes, oh god, KNG, he gets boosted up. I said that leg shot might depress his aggression, but look at this, trades all the way up. They're starting to get into the A bomb site. The rotations are coming in for North, trying to shore up this site.
The bomb, though, is actually making its way the other direction, so it will be a while before North have any kind of a read on this. Valder's over there, And he's holding, I would say, a very safe position. This is one of those spots where you can sort of take a couple of shots to fall back, and for them to clear the whole bomb site takes a while.
This is a big role for the young guy to play, and he gets the first kill. Cleans up AZ's damage. Gotta find one more. Henny's dropped down. So tough, and he doesn't turn the corner looking. Valdi's done it. He's redeeming himself for the TK earlier. And the reposition over by Van might just do it. I don't think Bolts is ready for it. There's Valdi. There's the head, and he gets it. All 3 kills at the end. A pick-me-up for Valdi. 17-15.
That's incredibly important. He's had a bit of a weird game, as most Mirage B players end up having. He's at 17 kills, but that's not really a reflection of his caliber of game here. It's just him playing B.
Yes, they haven't really gone at him too much. And I mean, when they do, at times it's been beating up the defense on other portions of the map. I like the aggression that's come out from North. This is great. This time they slow it down. Enough's enough.
Config sneaking on in with that AWP. There's another one on Cajun still. 2 rounds in a row with the overtime here. They need another 2 to win it. Which is looking good at the moment. And they didn't do too badly, remember, on their T side. They got 7 rounds overall. So the trend is looking good at the moment.
Valdi's making a very cool play over towards the B bomb site. He's pushed about halfway up the apartments. If he goes any further, he'll have all the information, but still, I don't think North has been able to get enough to rotate and cheat players over towards the A bomb site. AZ and Config in mid. There's a little bit of a duel. The real hit is coming towards the A bomb site, and MSL's blind.
Kenji actually doing a really good job right now, trying to see if he can keep the attention on the middle. AZ gets him killed finally. Cajun with a strong kill, taking down Bolts. MSL, perfect lineup with a headshot and the follow-up on Lucas as well. And Henny is gone. AC will take him down. 18-15. One more round. If they can get even one of the 3 here on the T side, then that's it.
That takes so much pressure off of North, and you can hear the fans' pressure off them as well. They're getting into it.
It is past midnight, so appreciate the dedication, obviously. It's great stuff. And all of you at home as well watching on Twitch, we love that as well, of course.
We obviously do. And all of you watching in the green room, we love you guys too.
Hope you've run out of food and drinks back there. It's all just banter, isn't it? Double open Immortals. They can't make even a single mistake here. Oh, that's a fast smoke towards top connector, I believe. Cajun lining that one up, and it lands perfectly, but the actual push looks like it's going to be B.
It almost looked like Steel and Henny wanted to push B, and Steel is getting indeed aggressive behind this smoke, or in front of it now. Molotov shows up as a smoke on my minimap, so my mistake, but he's got great position, great information. Henny with the AWP, this could be deadly, and they go around the corner, they crouch right into it. How do they take out Steel? Do they check it? No, he misses it. Cajun's got to find this, and he's got the wrong weapon for it. Great defense. Steel and Henny get all 4 kills so far. And Config in a 1v4.
That was a great read from Immortals. That cannot have been easy because all of the grenades, or many of them, were at the A side. So for Henny to find that perfect position, that's really, really great game sense.
Yes, and I mean the push from Steel to do that. We talk about some of the confidence that Config has shown us in this overtime. To do that is phenomenal from Steel.
Well, it's 1 strike for North. They're going to have 2 more chances, so could always do a bit of double overtime. How do you feel about that, Moses? You into that?
I'm getting there, I think. Getting into it. Kenji, I think, is there a gap in that smoke? I can't quite tell. Might be looking for something, but he doesn't find anything. Valdi coming from underpass, 3 at the top mid. Looking like this could be an A split as they have AZ lurking in Palace, and KNG still sticking around, and Cajun, he gets brought down to 11. Great timing to find from the Brazilian sniper.
That's not bad at all. More smokes to top connector here from the Danish side. KNG wants more out of this peak, and he's going to get it as well. Taking down MSL as a strong start.
It's going to be frustrating. That smoke, he wanted it to bounce obviously closer to the front, but the Molotov extinguished it far away, so that's how they found the opening. But Config, oh no, what has he done? Not again. Don't go for the knife again. I was so worried, but Bolts takes him out from behind. Key kill, and there's Lucas with the auto sniper. This is gonna go the distance in the first overtime.
This is unbelievable. Lucas with an easy kill on Cajun. That was never gonna be any trouble, and he follows it up with a triple. I mean, it is Config, and we've already seen sides that he's losing his mind a bit in this game. We have to point this out because we've been talking a lot about Config and how well he's been playing, but we've got to give a shout out as well to KNG, who's now got 29 kills, topping the scoreboard at the moment for Immortals, and just a couple of kills behind Config at 32.
Yes, brilliant display from both of these guys. How important have they been to their teams? Even if you go back on both maps, really, because if you go back to Inferno, KNG was probably the one player on Immortals that you could say had showed up. Regardless, timeout for North before this very last round of overtime. One more chance for them to win it right here and right now and book their ticket for the semifinals. Otherwise, it's a second overtime and potentially a third map.
Oh, North. They've been struggling for a while now to close out this game. They just need the one round. But Immortals are just looking better and better, round for round. They want the third map, KNG. Flash right now, they're coming through, but he's just spraying, getting the kill. Valda with one return. They're not expecting Lucas, and he's gonna get a great double. AC did get bolts, and Cajun's there close range. It's another complete melee here at the A-bomb site, and AC's moved all the way up. Steel is right around the corner. There's gonna be one grenade. He's gonna be peeked down. Steel gets dropped, and Henny goes for the peek, but oh, there it is! North of the semifinals. AC to take them there. 31 kills on him as well. They did it at the end.
You can't question AZ's performance here today, or indeed anyone on North. That was a tough battle. They had to fight their way. They seemed like they had all the advantages. It almost slips off. Immortals with a great comeback, a much better showing obviously on Mirage than in the first map, but North will indeed eliminate the Brazilians here at DreamHack Masters.
What a crazy game to finish out what has already been a crazy day here at DreamHack Masters in Malmö. And we're not even anywhere near done. We still have 2 semifinals and a grand final. That's going to be tomorrow, and there's no way you can miss that because those are going to be some wild games.
Yes, what are the 2 games we have now? It's North taking on
Gambit
and then G2
and
NIP.
G2, yeah.
Yes, in case you hadn't heard us talk about that earlier, but indeed an insane game. We had the 1v5 from AZ. We had the Config 4 kills of the USP and pistol round.
Yeah, team kills in there as well.
Yeah, the volley team kill was big.
There was a lot of good stuff, I would say, all around.
Yeah, there was really good stuff.
I mean, just an incredible performance all around. It felt like if Immortals could have had sort of the level that they had on Mirage just from the beginning of this best of 3,
yeah, I think
it would have been interesting, like even more interesting.
I think that's the takeaway, is just slow starts for the Immortals, which is a shame, because once they got going on a couple maps, you saw them really able to string rounds together, just can't get started that late.
Yeah, well, to close it all out, we do have an interview down on the stage, so please take it away. I'd love to hear what they have to say.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations, MSL. This match was a rematch of the IEM Katowice quarterfinals, and back then, Immortals knocked you out, and this time you're returning the favor by getting revenge. So what are your initial thoughts?
I'm really happy. We really needed to take the revenge for sure. It was a devastating loss last time, so it feels really good, and I think we played really good.
Well, we definitely need to talk about Mirage, because initially it was looking great for you guys. The score was 14-8, and then after the Valdi team kill, things seemed to swing in Immortals' favor. So what was going on in the team communications at that time?
Yeah, they won the crucial clutch round, and from there they just kept going. We made some mistakes that we shouldn't do, but they played good, and good comeback by them.
And overall at this event, there's been some interesting results. SK and Astralis, 2 tournament favorites that a lot of people expected to move forward, are out. So what are your thoughts on that and the teams that currently are in the semifinals?
It's pretty crazy. I didn't expect that from Gambit at all, but I'm looking forward to play them and see how good they are.
And speaking of Gambit, Hobbit and Fitch have had some amazing performances. I'm sure you've watched their games. What are your thoughts on them as a team and going up against them?
They're a pretty good team. They have Hobbit is a really good player, and they have a lot of firepower. So we will see.
So Sounds good. Congratulations again, MSL. And with that, it'll be North moving on to the semifinal.
Done in two, as we do see, yes, MSL chatting over to Smix. We have got a result. We have semi-finals locked in as well. We are going to be seeing that Gambit North matchup, and then in the lower side, you do get to see the Ninjas taking on G2. We have to understand exactly how we got here, though, because at a moment, I thought Valde was going to have a little bit of explaining to do if that had to gone to a third. My lord, he must have had sweaty palms when that went OT.
Could have been kicked as quick as Jay-Z Walkins after that one, mate.
Oh my God.
Bloody Christ, did he have me tilted something cruel.
Yeah.
That all sewn up, and he's gone, oh yeah, MSL in-game leader of the team, I'll show him who's boss.
Sit down, MSL. Sit down. I mean, on top of all of that, you have to also just mention that, like, Config did not give a rat's ass. He really didn't care, did he?
Like,
he did not care. He was like, "Oh, it's the 30th round. We could be going into OT. I'm just going to run at you."
Yeah, not even that. It's just like, yeah, there's nobody with me mid.
Jump.
Oh, it's like, oh, no nades. All right, I'll just hang out here, just like completely in the open for about 30 seconds.
Now? He's an AWPer.
Yeah,
as well.
no, he's doing everything.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Loves a bit of counter on this edition of DreamHack Masters Up Late.
I actually love the fact that like both Anders and Jason, when they see him wrapping around into jungle, like in the overtime, they're like, "No, don't do it," because the immediate thought is that Config is the one guy who will go for the knife in that situation.
You just have to love it though, because what I think everyone can appreciate is that he gets away with it, Jacob. Like, I mean, there are very few players that can have this kind of. It almost, you can see, like, you know when you say confident plays, but the confident player, like, you can just see every decision that's being made, every process that's going on in his subconscious. It seems to have some confidence in it.
He should us. He just have to, like, I don't give a F, like, approach to the game.
You can swear because it's the up late.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
like, that's the approach you got, you know. And he keeps having that, and it's like you can see when he plays with confidence. He does move like he did, like as you said in the 30th round, where he just runs up middle and one back and forth, no smoke cover. It's just like he plays by feeling, you know, and it gets going for him. He must be so annoying to play against, and he sure is.
Yeah. Can I get a bit more strategical on the situation, Alex? Machine Richardson. The transitional defense that they ran on that CT side of Inferno was a masterpiece. I think there was that paired with the Immortals guys being relatively stubborn in their approach and wanting to take duels, even though it wasn't working time and time again, until much later in that first half, where they went, hey, maybe we'll just do the normal approach where we smoke off one side of middle and try and take the duel on the other. It was too late by that point. The momentum was all swinging in the favor of the guys from North. That banana hold by Config and MSO was just a masterclass on how to play transitional, how to take the duels, how to use utility perfectly, and the fact that they were given kills time and time again just kept giving them number advantages. Right. Love to see it. Really happy with the way that they played that. They weren't scared playing in the pit. They always made like the good reads, and that's why they had such a fantastic half and a really good Infernsbrach to start us off.
Infernsbrach, 16-7 that scoreline, and then of course Mirage getting just a teeny bit close to seeing that third.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily always that way. I mean, at one point we saw.
Sorry, I really wanted to see that third map because we had some fantastic counters.
As always, I mean, you're a big lover of good Counter-Strike. So Chad was really ready to go for at least another 2 hours.
The biggest, I think, could be said.
Probably.
But sorry to interrupt.
But it definitely looked like it could have been another, convincing effort from North on Mirage as well. We saw them being up, what was it, 14-7 at least. I think it was 15-8.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, and then things happened. And also, I thought the back of Immortals was broken, especially after that 1v5, because we mentioned it in the pre-show. Immortals are very much a team that, Steel said it as well. They like to, they play well when they have fun, and they're also a very emotional team who do well once they get thriving and once they have momentum to run with. And obviously losing a 1v5 in a situation that's never supposed to occur. And Chad loves it. So for them to actually be able to fight back off of that is incredibly important for them, and in terms of just progress going further, because they need to have that kind of a level to grind out rounds when things aren't going their way, when they are messing up. And it was really cool to see that KNG got his performance. Even though it's at the very end and it still ends with an exit of the tournament, he did get to show what kind of level he possesses.
Instead of KNG, I'd like to talk about KON. FIG. Got there in the end. He's hanging out with Stunner. He's got an interview. It's late.
Hey, you sound like you're having a good time over there, huh, guys? Look, I'm standing here with Config, fresh off that OT victory. Looking at this, though, you guys came in here, you pretty much made quick work of the groups. Talk to me about the preparation going into this Immortals matchup.
MSL and Raga did a lot of preparation, and they gave us a quick short resume of the preparation before the match, and I just felt like I knew what they would do all the time.
Now, in a recent interview, he did say that you guys were implementing more structure into your team. Can you touch on that a little bit?
MSL is a bit more strict than usually, because when we had Magisk and we played a lot of individual skill, and we did a lot of plays, and we did a lot of stupid stuff because we had the aim stars in the team. So now we have Valde, who's a really like a consistent player and really smart player. Then we need more structure because it will give us more rounds.
Well, speaking of Valde, right? So there was this instance in this matchup where he got a nice headshot, maybe on his own teammate. It happens from time to time. But in terms of team comms, what happens there?
I think Valde said something like, I'm pre-frying right side, and then MSL just pressed on his D button. I don't know, it was stupid. I was like, what the fuck?
Whoa. Something about a family show. It's, yeah. Anyway, looking at that, obviously, what could have been a very pivotal moment in the entire matchup, and you guys were able to bring it back together. But something else to note on is, late game, it said that, and even shown that you get mighty aggressive. Late, 30th round, you're up there pushing mid. Talk to me what's going through your mind.
We knew that they were taking mid delayed. They were smoking one time and then going out on the second time. And then we just knew that if we were aggressive mid, then we would probably catch them off guard, which we did one time. And I think we just need our individual plays still, even though we have structured on T side, then we have individual plays on CT side.
Well, tomorrow you guys are going to go up against Gambit in your semifinal, and you're going to have just a little bit of prep time. What are you guys going to do back at the hotel tonight?
Drink beer. No, we're probably gonna watch some demos and figure out the veto system.
Solid play. Well, congratulations. I'm gonna give it back to the guys on the desk one more time.
Game plan sorted. I do love that as well. Just how their communication is at such a level that they're even communicating what side they're pre-firing. He just says,
and it works out
I'm pre-firing right side, and MSL's just sitting there pressing the D key. Like, yeah. Well, everyone makes mistakes, and unfortunately doesn't cost the Danes in the end. They pick up the win, and you know what? I think there's no shame in making this one a little bit quick. Let's go ahead and just kind of turn our attention to the Brazilians, because we aren't going to have a Brazilian presence in the semi-finals. We had SK Immortals, both of which have achieved huge things coming into that player break, and coming out of it, we're not going to be seeing them in the top 4.
Yeah, we spoke about the win conditions for them being the individuals stepping up, and it's not that they didn't. You were mentioning KNG having a good game. He was playing fantastically, like we've been talking about with this guy for a while now, or ever since the major. But I think the thing with the squad is, like we said, their aggression sometimes doesn't pay off, and this was a scenario, especially with Inferno, such a slow start, where it was just the stubbornness, running through smokes dry, taking jewels and Molotovs, that kind of stuff. But for me, it's more props to North than taking away too much from Immortals, because they still played well individually. You saw on that CT side of Mirage that they could step up and all get the multi-kills where they had to.
Absolutely, they could. And someone who got a whole lot of multi-kills, especially that one round, is your boy AZ. He has been selected as the match's player of the match, provided to you by Strafe. Words becoming increasingly difficult. Just 2 maps, though, and Pimp, you got to see this boy in action.
Yeah, and it looked like a vintage AC from when I played with him. It's just a crisp aim, and Clutch is like the 1 of 5 that he did, or 1 of 4, or whatever it was. That's something he did in practice pretty much every week. I'm not lying. He was that good at it, and he always he's so calm with his aim. He's sort of like, I wouldn't say like a first type of guy, but he never gets stressed with his aim. It's always crisp, it's always calm, and we saw that in the 1 and 4 on screen right now. That was just again bad play by Immortals, but if you let a guy get a guy like AC get so much space, he's gonna take advantage of it, and he did to full.
He closed us out there in the end on that last round finally, and that was a good thing to see. I think you could easily argue it could have been config. I know that AZ has more frags, but I think leaning towards AZ because I actually singled him out in the pregame about being one of the issues that North can have, and the fact that he's stepping up and performing, having a trio of AZ, Valde, and config all playing well with Cajun and MSL as the backbone, the solid 2 who can play and fill those gaps. It's a scary looking roster, and I hope that it isn't just an epicenter from last year. I hope this is something which we can actually see going on for the rest of 2017 and into 2018.
Yeah, and if you look at how and Config mentioned it as well, now they're leading towards more structure, because in the long run that's going to net you more rounds, and they still have the individuals to play off. If we talked about that when we discussed the move of swapping Magisk for Valde, the simple fact that Valde is not a slouch by any means, from an individual standpoint. He's just more of a safer guy to have to kind of lock down sites and whatnot, and I think this is the way to go forward in terms of how North want to approach it.
I'm actually really excited to see more of them, just to see how North develop, how Valde settles in. this could be a team to watch as we head towards tomorrow and the day after. Well, the day after, obviously, they're celebrating or not. Here's the finals tomorrow, the semis as well. We have just 4 teams remaining. This is how it is shaping up. We have North versus Gambit. We get to see how those boys can handle one of the most exciting teams currently here in Malmö. None other than Gambit, who just can't stop surprising us. I think at this point we should stop being surprised. G2 versus NIP as well is going to be going down, and that's going to be a loud one. The order of which they are going to be going down is here on your screens. Grand final starting roughly around that 6 o'clock sweet spot. But G2 NIP will kick us off to get the arena nice and loud as we venture into North and Gambit after that.
We say tomorrow, we actually mean later today.
Yeah.
In fact,
in a couple of hours.
Yeah, we have to be back here in 7.5 hours.
I think we could have a skit if we had like a bed and we could all jump in.
That'd be nice.
Slumber party with the boys.
I'm going to go for a solid 5, I reckon.
Backstreet Boys.
Solid 5 hours.
Oh man. We do love this game. It has been a long one, and I cannot believe if any of you guys have been hanging out with us this whole day. So much love to you. It's been so much fun just to get to see some of the twists and turns of this tournament. After a player break, you don't know what you're going to get, and some of these results and some of these games have been outrageous. In fact, today our predictions haven't been great.
It is what it is. It's at the cost of great Counter-Strike.
Yeah. This needs to be adjusted a little bit. I'm deducting a point from Yanko for getting his prediction in during the first map of that last series, so he'll be losing a point there. And it's also slightly the information we've given the crew backstairs is not 100% correct. We'll get it fixed.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I was leading the pack coming into day 3, and it's all come crumbling down.
It's gone horribly wrong
for
me, Alex.
Look at my newbie 12.
You're actually not that far off with the pace. We'll get it adjusted. Don't worry. Don't stress.
Tomorrow. 6 points.
Yeah, 6 points?
Yeah.
Cool.
But by the way, it's all for this magical trophy. Sponge made it himself. Jesus Christ. It's okay.
You're not even trying to sugarcoat it.
Just look at this abomination. All right. Well, I'm going to go take this guy to bed, and we are going to go ahead and see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, and we will have a DreamHack Masters Malmö champion crowned live in front of that adoring crowd. Will we see the Ninjas, or will we see Gambit try and prevail, or will the French finally get that trophy lifted? All of these answers will be provided tomorrow. Stay cool. See you then.